welcome back to another Path to Peace interview. I'm joined by Zach. Thank you so much for coming on.
No worries, mate.
Appreciate it. Let's get into it. So obviously you're, you just told me actually you started a startup, or you're part of a startup at the moment, part of like recruitment and stuff like that. So tell people what you've been doing, I guess, recently.
So obviously working post COVID, I wanted to stay in hospitality. So I got a good job just before lockdown and just wanted to follow that path. So looking to go into business later this year, starting up my own recruitment company, going into hospo. Guys our age, 18 to 25 that want some extra work. So just doing that at the moment. Start my own little business. I'm doing things with a couple of mates at the moment. And then working Monday to Friday full time in a cafe. So
Pretty active.
It's busy, man. It's really busy.
Is that something you'd rather it be busy, or do you like having some space? Mental health wise, or you just kind of like being able to do multiple things? Like
for me, I reckon the busier I am, the more I can distract myself from like having like thoughts that might lead me down a bad path. Because I've found in myself that over the past couple of years, I have found myself hopping between jobs a lot. As soon as I left uni, I was doing bar work, labouring, went and worked for a landscaper for like 6 months. That didn't work out. I was just hopping jobs and
just trying things.
Just trying stuff, and things weren't always working out. And I found that I need commitment. Me, if I don't have commitment in my life, I just get distracted. I have bad thoughts. It has led me down this path where I've had like panic attacks, anxiety, all that stuff, man.
The uncertainty of things, or like the inconsistency of things.
Consistency is how I like to live. Whether it's training, whether it's work, seeing friends even. I like to make sure once a week I go and see a good mate. It just keeps me level-headed. Right.
And I guess through lockdown, you were mentioning before, like how you went and started a job somewhere. Where was it? Sorry?
I was in Edelong Beach. Not just near Gosford.
Right. And so had a full plan. I guess you wanted to start a job there and live there and just kind of have something a bit different, and then you had a game of footy as well, first game of footy, and then lockdown hit. So what was like, you're saying it's pretty lonely. How was that experience from that? How testing was that?
It was. It's like as soon as I got up there, I landed this awesome job. Had my mind set to play a really good level of footy up there as well. And everything was going right, and then obviously lockdown hit. I had a great place. I was living like 10 metres from the beach.
Oh man.
And and then when lockdown hit, it was just like confine yourself, just me, to my bedroom, to my little shack that I had. And it was just depressing, man. It was like, I've never been a depressive person or anything, but when you get confined to like your own space, that's when you have like your darkest and deepest thoughts.
Exactly. You hypothesize like everything, and especially obviously your environment being so close and isolated, you can't, in terms of like your mental space, you can't really expand past that. Like you can't really like see out of that. Like, is that where like the panic attacks kind of like came in, or was there stuff before that and it just kind of all came to a halt?
No, I was actually thinking about this on the drive here. Man, I reckon my panic attacks started I still remember the first day, I think I had my first one. I was working in a pub, the Southern Cross Hotel, and it was just like something came over me, this fear, just random, it was like completely random. My hands started shaking. I just felt like I lost total control of my body, and it just all started with one thought. And you can't even like be specific with what the thought is.
Yeah.
It's just like this fear and everything comes over, and your mind just like shuts down your body.
Yeah.
It's crazy, man. It's really, and I've had times where like I'll be, even in Melbourne, I was in Melbourne last week, and I was coming, I was worried about, I've got this comp coming up for CrossFit.
Yeah.
And I had like a few beers and a few wines. Yeah. And I was feeling a bit tipsy, and I was like, oh shit, how am I going to feel tomorrow?
Yeah.
And then this fear came over me, my heart started racing.
Yeah.
And you just go into this mode where like, I couldn't even drive home.
From like that state.
Yeah, I was like,
holy shit.
My hands shaking, like you can't do anything.
It just completely takes you over. And did you even try to like rationalize? It sounds weird. Did you even try to like rationalize with yourself, or even that was like not even, like nothing was really working? You just kind of had to let it hit you, I guess. Yeah.
What I've learned over the years of like, now I've actually gone and seen someone and like being medically diagnosed with panic disorder.
Yeah.
And this thing called white coat syndrome as well.
Oh, I've heard of it.
So what I've learned from going and seeing someone, which was one of the hardest things I've ever had to do, is that I've been taught just to breathe. So I think people underestimate the power of like breathing technique.
Oh yeah.
Meditation, all that kind of stuff. Like, just over the years, like I've never known how to deal with it.
Yeah.
I went down a bad path where I'd go out and have 10 beers to try and cover it. Or I'd go and, I don't know, throw $100 in the tab or the pokies just to distract myself.
Yeah.
And
just take time.
Yeah, man, it just got bad. And that's when I got to the stage where I was like living off nothing, like come the end of my paycheck.
Really?
Yeah. And then I was like, I need to go see someone.
Yeah.
Like, not that I have like an addiction or anything.
Yeah.
But that I need to find other ways to distract myself.
Yeah. Like more constructive ways. And what are those? Have you found anything?
Training.
Like,
Training's the best one.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's huge. This CrossFit that I've gotten into, man, it's like taking my life down a different path.
That's huge.
I love the people at the gym.
Yeah.
I love the training. I love the idea of prepping for something big.
Yeah.
Like competition. Yeah.
No, nice. Yeah. And like, have you had any like competitions with that yet? To try for that?
So I had my first one at the CrossFit Open, which I just had like, I didn't actually go on the competing side of it.
Yeah.
Just went and did the workout.
Yeah.
And like, I was stuffed. Like I was wrecked. And then I got my first proper comp in 2 weeks. Down in Barrel.
Okay.
So looking forward to it.
Oh, it should be good. Yeah. And it's something. It's a healthy. I mean, I don't know if it's I wouldn't say it's addiction, but I don't really know. But like, it's a healthy something that you can like depend on. Yeah. And that you know it's in your schedule. Like, I've got to work out here. I've got to work out here. Yeah. I've got the comp in this many weeks, something like that.
Yeah. I found it was the best. Along with learning this breathing technique, which I read books on, YouTube videos, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. Even had like some references from people to go and like do yoga, meditation, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. And it's helped, man. It's helped so much. Like, don't get me wrong, like you never know when the next panic attack's gonna happen or your next rush of anxiety. But the way you can deal with it sets it back that little bit more. Yeah. Which is, at the end of the day, I think everyone's going to live with some level of anxiety or depression or, in my case, panic attacks. Yeah. But it's just how you deal with it. Yeah.
Is it what type of like breathing techniques? Because I actually post. I don't know if you noticed. I do post some on the YouTube channel, and they're my mentor who I've been seeing.
Yeah.
He's amazing, and he like records them himself. Like there's like Wim Hof stuff. There's Kapalbhati. There's box breathing, which is a pretty common one. Like, is there any specific name for it, or is it more just like particular style?
It was just more. The best one I got was from the psychologist I actually am currently seeing.
Yeah.
He said, "When do you feel like you get your most common panic attacks?" He asked me, and I said, "When I actually leave the gym," which is weird because that's when you got your endorphins and all that.
Yeah,
but it's
victorious or feeling good.
Yeah, but it's when I get home and jump in the shower and like you're by yourself once again.
Yeah,
it's when all the thoughts come in.
Yeah.
Did I train hard enough? Did I look off today in my technique or something like that? Just small things.
Yeah.
Or it might have been something during the day that had happened. Someone called me this at work. Someone said this at work. And in the shower, and my psychologist said to me, just stand there and just close your eyes. Close your eyes and just breathe normally. In, out, in, out, in, out. And just take your time. But besides that, it was like none of the Wim Hof stuff.
Yeah,
it was just simple, basic stuff.
Yeah.
That like day to day you just forget about.
Oh yeah. You might even notice if you're at work, you're probably breathing like pretty rapidly, or you're not breathing like in the most healthy way because like you're thinking about this and you're doing that. Blah blah blah. And I'm sure in cafe it's like a high intensity. You're always doing something, always talking, always thinking.
Yeah.
And then you catch yourself like, fuck, I've been breathing like this for the past like 4 hours or whatever, how long your shifts are. It'd probably just be like, kind of like that, like that type of breathing. It's just like so rapid. And then you catch yourself and like, fuck, I've been doing this.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
It was actually, there was actually, I got admitted to hospital. I've actually been admitted a couple of times for my panic attacks to hospital. And the first thing that they tell you when you get admitted is like they look at your heart rate. Mine was through the roof when I first went, and they take your blood pressure, and mine was through the roof. And I'm a healthy guy. Like I've always like eaten pretty well, always training and stuff. And they're like, "Oh, what's up?" And I'm just like, "I don't know what's going on, but I'm shaking. My heart rate's through the roof." And they just say, first thing they tell you, breathe. So, and you go, "But I can't, it's like," and they're like, "Just breathe." And then once you start breathing, everything settles back down. It's crazy. Like the power of something so simple that I've learned can bring everything that's up here back down.
Yeah. It's like, it's because, I mean, anxiety is kind of always simmering. It's always beneath the surface, right? And as soon as it comes up, the breathing, I guess, can kind of just push it down, or just kind of like, just slow it for a second, or at least rise the water to where it's not as high as it used to be, like that, it rising up. But I guess with that, because you mentioned the panic attack you had in the bar, when we were at Southern Cross Hotel.
Yeah, it was years ago. It's like, maybe like 3 or 4 years ago.
Right,
And my girlfriend at the time, I don't think she really knew what was going on in my life. And that was like, some days I had to like, when we may have had like an event or something, I'd have to actually like take myself away from it to settle myself down.
Like in terms of be like, oh, I can't make it tonight. Like got this. Did you? And it's a hard thing to say. It's like, oh, I'm feeling anxious.
Yeah, because at the time I was scared that like, no, and that's what I've learned over the past couple of years as well, that there's other people out there with the exact same problem.
Oh man.
And it's crazy. It's crazy. Like, but at the time when it was first happening, it's like, man, I'm the only one.
Yeah.
Like, and if I tell them, they're gonna think I'm weird or like you're a man, snap out of it. And that's the worst thing. Like men are just as susceptible as women, and doesn't matter of age. Like everyone has their time where they're gonna suffer with a panic attack or a level of anxiety or something like that.
Every dog has their day.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah. Literally. Yeah. It's always, and like genetics can come into it, and the parenting, and then the environment you grow up. But at the end of the day, like you can look at everything around you, and everything can kind of give you a sense of anxiety.
For sure.
Everything can kind of trigger something.
I actually was I was listening to a podcast a couple months ago by a guy who owns Reborn, that gym. Yeah. And he was saying that that he went through a whole stage of depression and stuff, and the way he got of it, also how I found that has helped me, is that surround yourself with like the 3 best friends that want to be in a good environment. Like surround yourself with positive people. Yeah. And I found over the years that I've cut my mates, who I thought were my mates, back to like 1 or 2. Yeah. Yeah. And it took that as well, like for me to also like drop the level of anxiety and help with my panic attacks, because they were the people that also were recognising the symptoms, like helping me out, taking me out of like a bad environment to a good one. Yeah. Say if like I wanted to distract myself and I'd go down the pub, like I'd be with guys at the time that wanted to go have a slap, wanted to like go punt for like 2 or 3 hours. Yeah. But now it's like, if I go down the pub, me and my mate will sit out the back and just have a beer and a couple of yarns, like that kind of thing. Yeah. And so they're not conducive to any unhealthy behaviour outside of what's just kind of normal. Like, because I feel that unhealthy behaviour, it also pushes you. Like I felt the more I was throwing my money in the pokies, or the more I was having a bet, or the more I was going out and just getting absolutely hammered, the next day I'd wake up and I would be shaking. Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. It's so bad. It's like that, if you go out on like a Sunday and then you wake up on Monday, you kind of had that like Monday anxiety. Those Monday blues, man. It's like, shouldn't do it. No, you don't even want to go to work. Yeah. Oh, it's bad, man. Like even thinking about it now, I've had so many times where I just where it's happened. Yeah. And I've had to take that Monday off work, and then your boss goes, "What are you doing, mate?" Like, and then how do you explain it to him? Yeah. It's good that at least mental health days are coming into certain workplaces and certain industries are acknowledging that. Yeah. Like men's mental health month. Like now at the moment, like I'm seeing stuff on Instagram where it's like not only are other guys seeing it, but our parents are seeing it, and recognizing that like it isn't just like 20 to 40 years of age that suffer from maybe anxiety or depression, and it's not just women. It's like young guys, older guys, anyone. It's everyone. Yeah. Like mental illness doesn't discriminate. Like it happens to everyone. Yeah. And I think that's what people overlook, especially guys. That we don't talk about it enough. That's why I'm really glad that I could be here today. Yeah. And like what you're doing with the Part to Peace thing, like as soon as I saw it, I'm like, awesome, man. This is really good. Thank you. All good. Well, for me initially, it felt as taboo as it always has been. Like when I first started actually being honest with it, right? And then over time, it's just become like a normal thing. Like it's just as normal as
like me talking to someone about like what happened on the weekend or what happened the other day. Like it's just as normal as that. Like how, and obviously I still have my fucking shit days. I even posted the other day. You probably saw it. Like
I saw it and I was
breakdown.
like, I can so relate to this. I think it was actually after that where I was like, send him a message because like, and it's good because you know that person also feels that way. So
and
it's good.
I mean, just you knowing someone that is feeling the same way, you know that they're not going to invalidate what you're feeling, or they're going to be careful what they say, because they know obviously if you're in an anxious state, a lot of things can like trigger you. And especially I'm sure with your mates, and you've cut that down to the ones that you like really trust, like how have they learned to, I guess, just be a better friend, or be, you know what I mean, like be just be as supportive as they possibly can.
How have they learned?
Like how have they learned, or is it something that they've always kind of understood?
Well, my actually two best mates I've known, one I've known since I was like in year 2. And he's done everything as me. Played footy, played cricket growing up. So I think he's always been able to recognise signs when I'm off. It's just that close mate that does that. And then my other mate, he's been a close mate of mine since high school, and we've gone on trips together from school, from things like schoolies to weekends away, and I think he's also like that, where he knows me well enough, and like seeing what I've been through in the past couple of years, that he can pick up on like certain like signs, like Zach's not talking today, he's doing something like a bit odd. So and they pick up on that and they just go, oh, you're good. Even if it's just a message, like if I put something up on Instagram that might be like a little bit off, or not as positive as other things, they'll send a message and they go, oh, you're alright, mate, you're good, which is what you want. That's what you want from your mates.
Love that.
Like just to check up on you.
Because unfortunately it's the one time like you don't check up, where I guess something bad can happen, or you do go off the rails, and it's you never want to not be there for your mates. Like
oh, for sure.
The love that you have for your mates is like, you don't it's nothing that you ever want to feel guilt for. You'd rather just tell them in person, like, I love you, like let's work this out, I'll be there. I was only messaging this girl yesterday, and I was saying that me now, I've come to realise that I'm an affectionate guy, and I love like that PAD, like that public display of affection, PDA. And like I'll go up and like, even if it's like someone like you who I haven't seen in a while, but I know them, I'll give them a hug, and I'm all about that. And I think guys also need to be a bit more open to that. Like, don't judge someone if you go and give them a hug, like if they're even not your best mate or something. Like, I love seeing that stuff. Like, that's a really good thing about the gym I'm at. Like, after the session, we'll give each other a hug, and that's or like slap each other up. It's really good, and I feel like more guys need to be like open to that, like public display of affection. I'm all about it. I'm all about the bromance. I love that. There's nothing wrong with that. Like, there shouldn't ever be. It's just showing fucking
and that's the same as like footy, like when you give your mate a slap on the ass. Like, I'm all about that. Like, get around it. Like,
But that shit shouldn't have any like gender attachment to it. It's just a display of like respect or
get around it.
Just get around it. Fuck with that. That's
it's good, man.
I guess, and then because as you've gone through it throughout lockdown and just dealt with it in all different environments, like, is there something where you'd like, and now you're seeing someone? Is there something where talking? Is there something where you'd like to see, what type of intervention or what type of change would you like to see? Like, is it something like like government wise? Like, do you think that they can provide more help, or is it something where just in like communities, like we can do, what can we do in that sense? Big question, but I like asking it to see where people are at with it, you know.
In terms of men's mental health or mental health in general?
I think both. But yeah, I guess in men's mental health, understanding it as a male and the parameters we have.
Well, one thing that I've really liked is, so you know, like you got like Mother's Day, Father's Day.
Yeah.
I'd like the idea of like Family Day.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you get like all the members in your family, and you go out and you just spend a day with them and just celebrate that like family like togetherness.
Yeah.
I feel like, yeah, you have Christmas and Easter and that, but why not let's have a day where like you and your partner, or you, your mum and dad and your brother and sister, all go out and like just enjoy a picnic for a day. Yeah. Like
enjoy
something. Yeah. I feel like if we had like things like public holidays and all that kind of stuff, why can't we make a title for like, this is Family Day?
Family Day,
yeah.
I love that. That's sick. Because there isn't enough of that, and obviously when you move out, or like move on, out.
If you
want to like stay in touch.
Yeah, of course. If you're like me and moved up the coast and like you wouldn't see you because you got work on, and you wouldn't see like your family for like 3 or 4 months. Yeah. Like, why not have a day where you just go, all right, I'm going back to Sydney and going to see my family and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, why not?
And everything stops in those times. Like when you're with it, not even just like family, but when you're with people that like love and care about you, you can feel that.
Oh yeah.
Everything else stops. Nothing else really matters. Like,
yeah, for sure.
That's the times where I don't even have to try, but it feels I can feel in the present. Like I can actually be in the present. Like everything stops and just.
I feel like family, especially for me in my times, I've become a lot closer with my old man. Yeah. It's always been pretty much my old man since I was 10. I lost my mum to suicide when I was 10.
All right.
So me and my old man have always been really close.
Yeah.
And like over the times where I've come to him since I've moved like back in with him, and he's seen these like panic attacks that I have had, he's always been that guy that really tough. Like if you know my old man, you know him as a really tough, like hard bloke, his way or the highway kind of thing. But he's come to see that side where my life is also altered by these attacks that I've had, and like I can't be the person who I am. And when he sees that, it kind of grounds him as well. Which is, I think it's also that thing of that bit of opening up. Even though my dad's like the closest person to me, I was worried because he's a stubborn old bloke. That I couldn't tell him what I was going through, and like now he's come to see like that it does affect me, and I'm not the toughest guy out there, and sometimes I do cry. Which is perfectly normal.
That's okay, yeah.
And like he's got to that point now where he'll say, "Come here, mate. Let's sit down. Let's just have a chat. Like, let's have a talk about what's happening in your day and stuff that I think gets pushed to the side a lot as well. Like I don't know how many times like you might just sit down with like your brother or like your parents and just talk about your day. Yeah. Like we're so busy, and I feel like that's why I want to get out of Sydney eventually for good, because Sydney is so chaotic. Yeah. Like, it's crazy. It's a madhouse. Yeah. I drove out my door the other day and some lady crashed a car into me because she was in a rush. Yeah. It was like 6 o'clock in the morning. You should be asleep.
Yeah. Like, it's always doing something. Unfortunately, there is that state that a lot of us are in that, we are like trying to be busy, or like we're busy, we're trying to do too much. Yeah. And we forget to like just live and just and then stop and be like, actually, how's your day? or like what's been going on.
Yeah. You got to more. I feel like more people need to be present in the moment,
Yeah,
as opposed to rushing to get something done that's like can be done later. It doesn't have to be done now.
Yeah.
It can be done in 2 or 3 hours time. It could be done tomorrow.
yeah,
Like, don't rush. It's like people with what I'm seeing at the moment, like going and buying houses or like rushing into relationships because they want to get married. Like,
yeah.
it doesn't have to happen tomorrow,
It's all
or
good.
like just chill and enjoy it. Enjoy the process.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
for me at the moment, like I think I've been like single for like nearly 2 years now, and it's like the longest time I've been single since I was probably in like year 8 or something.
right.
Yeah, which
You
is
just
pretty funny.
You like, yeah, I need a break.
I'm just enjoying the process, man.
Yeah.
I'm just enjoying like getting to know who I am. And
Yeah,
getting to know other people. Like, I'm in no rush. I just want to enjoy my time. Like,
Yeah.
and find out who I am. They're
That's
saying,
huge.
yeah, this, like, obviously dealing with like the anxiety and stuff, that's finding out more about myself. Also, I like to call it like the struggling 20s,
yeah,
because between the ages of like 20 and 25, man, I feel like everyone's lost.
Yeah.
Everyone's bloody lost. Like, you
You
don't know.
think you know what you're doing. You don't.
Oh yeah, you can go get your uni degree and be
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, I'm set up to do business, I'm set up to be a physio or anything like that. Like,
Yeah,
how many people are actually going out and getting a job straight away after uni? Like,
yeah,
I did uni, and I think out of the degree like that I was doing at the time, I think only maybe like 2 or 3 people I know out of 50 got a job. Like in that
really for
area.
that. What were you doing?
Exercise science.
Oh shit, yeah, that would be.
Yeah. So most
Yeah.
people want to go and do like physio,
Yeah,
but then it's another 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
And you're just like, bugger it. Like, may as well just like, for me, I was doing like hospital management.
Yeah.
So I stayed in that field and then continually like hop between other things, but always stayed in that field.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where I'm at now, where I'm just like, oh, maybe I should go back to uni or TAFE and like do a business thing and actually set up this like recruiting thing that I'm looking forward to doing maybe at the end of the year. But
yeah,
who knows, man?
yeah. Who knows?
Yeah.
Like, there's no rush.
Nah, no
There's
rush. No rush.
If you force it, like it's kind of like if you force anything, I feel like
It pushes away from me.
yeah,
Yeah, it's like opposites attract, but also that like you said, if you push to have something done, like these days it just goes backwards. Like
yeah,
relationships, I've tried to push for things like in the past year, and then you get to a point where it's like, nah, this isn't gonna work. Or same with the job, like there was a job I went for not long ago, which was actually taking over a venue management role.
all right,
Yeah,
Wow.
and like I really pushed for it, and then I found out the people that were hiring at the time were just like, oh, he's being a bit too pushy with wanting to come in. He's trying to force his like CV against us, and yeah, like you learn by doing that stuff that like the more you push for something, like just let it go.
Yeah.
Just learn from the process.
yeah.
Take your time with things. There's no rush.
Yeah, I am super impatient with stuff like that because like I have in my degree I'm doing primary teaching and
Okay.
I'm like keen to get out there, but I also like had a breakdown like a month ago. It was like fuck, I don't know if I want to do it anymore.
Yeah.
And but I know I'd like to do it. And I'm not forcing anything. I'm not pushing anything. I'm like, I like this. I'll keep pursuing it. See how it goes.
Primary teaching,
But
man,
then I also
it's good. Any teaching is such a good avenue. Like
yes.
I think teachers are like nurses. There's never enough of them,
Oh yeah.
and it's also one of those jobs where you can travel the world doing
All sorts of stuff.
yeah. And you like to be a primary teacher as well. You also have to have that element of like patience, but
Yeah. Exactly. That's
Like-
huge, and I don't yet. Well, I'm getting better at it,
oh,
I guess, but it comes.
yeah, it'll come.
Yeah,
It'll
yeah.
come.
And that's literally what patience is, knowing that it's all gonna come
Mm.
together. Like whatever Because like you don't want to be. I feel like I don't know. I think yourself. You don't want to be chasing your entire life for something. You do want to get to a place where you're like, I'm good. Like I'm happy. Obviously, I'm still gonna keep doing what I want to do. Keep doing what I want to do. But like, you don't want to be chasing your entire life. And I feel like if you live how you live, like you said, that 20 to 25 age range. If you live in that mind state, feel like the rest of your life,
you're done for.
You just be chasing your entire life and stressing and overthinking. And I get like you're learning. We can be in that state in our 20s. I mean, in our I'm good
I feel like we can get away with it. But when you're saying about overthinking, I feel like that is the thing that affects me the most. Like in this, like that I've done for the past 3 or 4 years, every situation I get in, whether it's work, training or anything that does give me those panic attacks, is the overthinking. And it's fine to overthink, it's normal. It's a good thing, if anything, at times. But it also sets you back as well, because the more you overthink, the more you're drawn into like the negative thoughts. Unfortunately, I feel like that's what you've got to learn. That's what I've learned from seeing someone. That time where you are overthinking, bring the positive thoughts into it.
Remind yourself of what you have going, or just
for example, like there's a girl you're talking to and she doesn't reply. Like something as simple as that. You go, oh shit, what have I done? Have I said something wrong? Have I even sent like the wrong emoji or something? Something like as bad as that.
But no, I feel you.
Like
it's so true.
Like even the smallest of things like that get to me. But instead of thinking that's the wrong thing and she hasn't replied or that, why not just be like, oh, she's busy and she'll get back to you later on. And
something like that.
Just something that distracts you from, like takes you away from that negative mindset of that you've done something wrong. Because you probably haven't.
Just be a bit more rational with yourself. Like it's all good. But I know exactly what you mean. If I'm texting someone, I'm like, fuck, is that too much of an exclamation mark? Did I use that like
something as stupid as that. It's so bad, but it's a day-to-day thing that happens. Like every day, like even like my boss, I'll send a message and I'll be like, oh, like I'm gonna be 10 minutes late. And then you sit back and they haven't replied and you're like, fine, what's gonna happen next? Like, am I gonna get to work and get grilled? Like, man, overthinking is the worst, but you just can't avoid it.
I think I was reading a book and it's all about overcoming anxiety, mainly in like children and teens, but it's like gradual exposure therapy. Basically, it's like the more you're exposed to a fearful like situation or a feared situation, the more you realize, oh, there's nothing really to worry about. I'm not saying like keep being 10 minutes late. But it's more like when you're in that state of mind even more, and you think, fuck, what's he thinking, or what are they thinking? But the more you're in that, you realize, okay, it's actually all good. I think that's just an age thing. I think it's an experience thing. You learn. We're all gonna learn. And if you can try, and like I said, trust in that. Just trust in that process.
Trust is huge, man. Definitely, I feel like that's what I've unfortunately like never got to do in the like fields of work that I've done. I've never got to trust the people I work with. I think that's also because trust comes with time. Obviously, like anything. And I feel like the more you trust the people, like say you work with, the less you have to think about that kind of thing, because you know what their reaction is going to be, or you know that you haven't done the wrong thing, kind of thing. It's trust is a huge thing, and like in terms of like I remember when getting on the subject of probably like relationships again, when I like split up with my ex, the element of trust for me amongst like even females in general was just like out the door. Like I just couldn't like trust someone because I was pretty shattered at the time, but like I just couldn't get over what I'd seen had been done.
Yeah.
And also what I'd done because I was in the wrong as well.
Yeah.
But like trust, man, like it's you gotta build trust, and if trust isn't there between you and someone else, whether it's relationship, workplace, footy side, trusting your mates, like you can't do what you're doing at the time right. Like it just doesn't work.
Yeah. Even there, you gotta obviously use your logical thinking and assess the situation.
Yeah.
But like saying like if it's in the footy team, just it's a great metaphor for life. Like if you show to someone that you don't trust them, obviously they're not gonna perform in the way that you want them. They're not gonna feel like they're trusted. Even just the illusion of being like, I trust you.
Yeah.
And then if someone proves that, you're like, oh, okay, now I actually trust you. You know what I mean? Like, and you really see intentions start to, appear. Yeah. But then again, it comes and goes. So.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like that's one thing that I've always learned since I've been playing, like when I played with St. George.
Yeah.
Is that we always had each other's backs.
Yeah.
It was always on and off the field.
Yeah.
Like, which was awesome. I've never really been a part of a side or club or workplace or anything that like showed that you were going to have each other's back.
Yeah.
On and off the field, like thick as thieves.
Yeah.
Which is awesome, man. That's why I still come down to like the St. George days.
Yeah.
Show my face in, even though I'm not playing at the moment, but I will. I'll be back at some stage.
Yeah. Get you back.
But that sense of camaraderie and stuff like is what actually what I get the FOMO from. Yeah. From footy, like I miss playing because I don't miss the game much, but I miss that element of camaraderie and mateship and even just like having a beer after the game. Like, yeah.
Well, that camaraderie and mateship, I'm sure you found that even more with CrossFit. Yeah. And being able to, realign yourself with that way of life. Yeah. Fucking dope. Your separation anxiety. Yeah.
Yours?
No, it's not ours. It's next to and like Dad works from home as well, so he's always dealing with it. So that's fine. That's fine.
Little yap.
Yeah, little yap.
Oh.
It's alright. It's fine.
Yeah, I saw actually when I was coming down the road, it was like three chihuahuas all together. Yeah. And I was like, how could you live in a house with like 3 like chihuahuas, man? It would drive me insane.
We actually have a chihuahua. Well, she's like chihuahua something else, but she's not a yip yap.
Okay.
She actually has a lot of anxiety herself. Like she hides in the closet the entire day.
Right.
Yeah. And all dogs.
I can't say mine's got to that point yet. But,
it can happen. It can happen.
I'm really happy with like what you're doing at the moment with this part of the piece. Like I've gone through some of the videos and obviously seeing people like Finn that was on it.
Yeah, Finn Ritchie.
Like you get to see people's vulnerable side, and I love seeing that. Like, and if people can open up more to one another, I know it's hard. I know guys struggle with it. I've come to learn that the more I open up, the more I talk about what I've been through, what I battle with, like the more people will give back to you.
Yeah, like trust.
Yeah. And it's awesome that I'd like to see it more done between male to male.
Yeah.
Because I find it a lot easier, like, if I spill my problems out to a female.
Yeah.
Because they're like, oh, they'll console you and all that kind of thing.
They do have a bit more empathy.
Empathy.
Yeah.
But the more you can talk about it to another guy, the more you, like, you can go out, you can go to the pub, and if something does happen, like, say if I suffer from a panic attack down at a local pub, and I say to my mate, hey, I'm feeling off, I'm having one of those moments, all good, let's go. Like, he doesn't have to be like, sit there and go, oh, what's going on? What's wrong with him? Like, it can just be a normal conversation. Like, it doesn't have to be this, like, oh, God, like, he's got his shoes or something.
Oh, it doesn't have to be an event that transpires. It can just be anything. And as soon as that happens, you're like, okay, sweet, how can I help? Or do you want a solution, or do you want to just talk?
Sure. I know now that whenever I see, like, I don't know whether it's just me as a person that I'm, I don't know, that I look out for probably people more than I should. I shouldn't say that, but like, I feel that whenever I see or know that someone's off, I'll always send them a message or give them a call. I prefer giving them a call because you can actually get on the phone and ask how, like, see how they sound and all that. But if not, just give them a message. Say, how can I help? Let's catch up. Let's do something. Let's go for a beer. Let's go for a run. Let's go throw some weights around. Doesn't matter. Like, just people need to drop that stigma of, like, it's weird.
No,
it's not. It's not.
It's human. It's
like, it's a thing everyone will go through at some stage, and like, the more we open up about it, like, I hope, even yesterday I saw, like, it hurts to see, but I saw on the post yesterday, it was like 80 men a month or something, like, commit suicide, and like, some crazy statistics, like 75% like, of guys succumb to suicide than women. And like, when I see that stuff, like, I lost my mum to it. But one of my best mates in school lost his dad to it, and I think and man, that was like, in school, I was in year 12 at the time, and it was like one of the hardest things I've gone through. I wasn't like directly affected as it was my family member, but seeing my mate, like, one of my best mates go through that, oh man, it hurts so much. And it's really good though that today we are closer than ever. He lives in England now, but today we're closer than ever, like, from that happening, and we can relate, obviously, because we both lost a parent through the same thing. But
that's powerful. Wow.
Oh man, it's huge. Like I even choke up about it today, like that. Because he's unfortunately, I think that at the time, he felt like he couldn't talk about it. He's old man, and I don't know what the circumstances were, but I feel like if people can just open up that bit more and be that little bit more vulnerable, and probably 9 times out of 10, people are going to give you that reaction that's going to be, like, nice. They're going to be there. They're not going to think it's weird.
No.
But
you gotta trust.
You just gotta, like, that's what I tell all, like, people like you, like, guys on the footy field, like, just anyone that, just, if you can open up and say stuff from your heart and tell people how you really feel, whether it is about a mental illness, whether it is about something, like, that's on your mind at the time that they might be doing wrong by you, or if it's a girl, if you really like her, tell them how you feel.
It's better out like it.
Yeah, of course. Don't hide stuff.
Oh man.
Like,
if I had that advice years
ago. I'm sure, like,
Yeah.
like, you got a partner,
Yeah.
a girlfriend,
Yeah.
you know that the more you don't talk about things, the worse things get.
Literally.
Like,
It festers.
and, it festers, it builds, and then it turns into this big shebang, and then you don't talk, and then it's just like
Shit.
headache.
Yeah.
Been through it, mate. Been through it too many times.
Fuck. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
seriously, that's like the key. Like being open. I have this quote. It's like, be open up to the world and it will open up to you. And I've found that in like every facet of my life, and you found that as well. Like the more you're opening up, it just opens up new areas in like your relationships. It opens up, like it deepens those relationships. I'm sure with your mates and then with your dad as well. Yeah. The more you open up with shit, like people trust you more.
Damn dog,
I fucking the editing this is gonna be top tier.
Yeah. It's alright.
Yeah, it's fucking powerful. Like, and it's human. It's nothing. It's brave. Like I always commend anyone who speaks on this, because there's a lot of pressures surrounding it. But at the end of the day, it's human, and we need to just
say how you feel. Like I will tell you right now, the drive here, I was so nervous, man, because I was like, not in what's Lockie gonna ask, but it's like, how do I say like what has gone on in my life? How do I like tell people that may not know, like that I lost my mum at a young age to drugs and suicide, and that I had maybe a small addiction to going and putting the pun on, or even like alcohol, man. I felt like alcohol and drugs, I think they were at a young age. I think I took my first like pinger at like 15 or something. And like I remember all through like year 11 and 12, like I would go out on a weekly basis and take N. Whether that like led me to have panic attacks and anxiety, I don't know, but
it's all necessary.
Like I look back and I'm like, man, I was an addict. Like, I think I might like go and have a big night now, maybe once every 3 or 4 months. One, because I hate the hangover. And but like just doesn't do it for me anymore. I felt like I started partying way too young, but like I still love to go out and have a good night. But it just like, I remember back in high school, it was just like, because I was everyone's like underage as well. It's like, you went to a nightclub on the weekend, you went to like,
that's
you get to like school on a Monday. I even remember like in geography, and the teacher would like look at us and be like, do you guys go out on the weekend? And they hear a conversation like, how old are you again? Like, I remember that.
Wow.
I think
so. He's like start pretty early.
I started really early, and unfortunately, it's kind of had its day now, and I'm over it. I even saw I was doing actually really helps with like my anxiety as well. Decluttering your room, like such a small thing. But man, it doesn't feel good afterwards.
It does. It does.
It's weird.
You get a boost from it.
When I was decluttering my room, I found one of those like headbands, like that you wear at like a festival, like they give it to you. And it was like Stereo Sonic 2013.
Holy shit.
And I was like, I was 15.
I
was like, man, I started way too early. Jeez. But there were heaps of other guys that are probably in the same boat.
I'm sure.
You probably had a fake ID.
I definitely did. I don't know how it's so funny actually. I went to Northies, of all places, with a fake ID, and then I applied to work there like a year ago.
Really?
So the seckies were like,
who's this guy? Oh, we know him.
And I was just fresh 18.
Oh, funny, man. I remember actually, I was listening to a podcast, the Inspired Unemployed Boys.
They're fucking hilarious.
Oh, mate, they're so funny.
I do see that stuff here and there.
Listen to them, man. They're like, every single one I felt like I've got something out of.
Yeah.
Even though they're like half the time they're just taking the piss.
Yeah, talking shit.
Yeah. Like the other week, they were talking about fake IDs, and they were saying like they actually found some statistic that like less than 1 in 2 like guys have a fake ID in their life, or girls. I don't know what it was exactly, but when I thought about that, I was like, wow, it's actually pretty crazy. Like,
Yeah.
that's a lot of people breaking the law.
Just under this as well.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah. That's the thrill of it. I feel like as soon as you turn 18, there's not as much thrill.
Nah.
It's not illegal.
No, I was like, I remember the day I turned 18, I had a heap of guys go to Marquee in Sydney.
Yeah.
And I remember when I got there, I was like, I just didn't feel the same buzz. I was like, I've been like 5 times already. Like, it was weird, man. Like,
Yeah.
and today I'm just like, I'm only 24.
Yeah.
And if someone wants to say like, let's go out clubbing, I'm just like, nah, I'd just rather stay at home, hey. Like, it's weird.
No.
It's like tonight, one of my mates said to me, hey, let's go to the pub and watch Origin.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I know what that's going to turn into.
Yeah.
Like, I'd much rather just stay home, have 2 or 3 beers, and then go into work tomorrow, feel completely fine.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know whether I'm just getting old and boring, but
No,
chicks like it, mate.
Yeah. I think that's the wisdom coming through. Because if you live like how you like were back then, and probably the same, like no,
you're younger than me.
You're function,
what,
yeah.
22?
21.
What?
Turning 22. Yeah. The other day. Yeah.
You
you learn how to moderate things, and the bad experiences are actually, I guess the bad experiences are necessary for you to be like, okay, I'll steer away from that, or I'll just dabble in that here and there. Like,
I can't believe you're 21.
Yeah.
Wisdom beyond your years.
Thanks, mate. Hey, it's what happens when you deny shit for years and then all of it bottles up.
Yeah, you also got to mature when you get a girlfriend as well.
Yeah, that's actually the main thing. I think if I didn't have that, who
knows what would happen? Yeah. Oh no, it's good, man. I'm really stoked that you've started this thing. And,
thanks, mate. Cheers.
I feel like it benefits not only me. Like, as soon as I saw it, and then I saw your post on Facebook, I was like, wow, and here's someone else I can relate to.
Yeah.
And if I am ever feeling off, I know through our connection with the footy club and obviously like your brother, I've known your brother for years as well, that I will not hesitate to send you a message ever.
Of course.
And I would expect the exact same. Like, there's a mutual connection there that I feel like people who do stuff, damn dog.
I know, fuck yeah.
Yeah, that I feel like people, like, when they establish a relationship in terms of where, like, if you've both gone through like anxiety, depression, whatever it is, that you can talk to one another a lot more with that more vulnerable aspect. Yeah. Where like that, you know, they're gonna be there for you. Yeah. Because you've gone through the same thing. Like, that's huge. It's spoken, but it's kind of unspoken of a connection. Yeah. Yeah. It's like, fuck, like I know. Yeah, it's a human connection that is like, so strong. Yeah. And it can happen between anyone. I guess I've probably got to wrap it up. I got work to get to, but we got Origin tonight, mate. We got Origin. Fucking work. I got training then Origin. You got training then Origin. Shit. It's 8 o'clock, isn't it? It starts or I don't know. We're just gonna feel good talk for about half an hour as well. Yeah. That's where legends become immortals or something like that. But I guess. Oh, that was actually. Oh yeah. That was the club. Yeah. I know there's some sponsorship. Club. Yeah. There's more swans. That's okay. I guess the last thing I want to. We've the recurring theme, I guess you can talk about is just being open. Yeah. So I guess being vulnerable. Being vulnerable. That's like the main advice for anyone who I guess who's going through the exact same thing. Yeah. I'd love to see more guys be vulnerable. Yeah. Girls even be more vulnerable. Don't be scared to message a guy and say you've got an issue. Like, just be a little bit more open. I know it's this men's mental health month, and I think lots of people are going to see on Facebook some pretty scary statistics and whatnot.
It should be scary though.
Yeah. And I feel like the more that we are open to talking about our illness, or I don't like to call it an illness, but
it's just
our life.
Yeah.
Our life. The more we talk about our life to other people, and it doesn't have to be like boasting about yourself or being cocky or anything like that. Just talk about day-to-day things, that what's going on in your life, in your day.
Yeah.
And I'm sure 9 times out of 10 people are gonna like reciprocate and like be a nice person.
Yeah.
And they're gonna tell you how their day was, and
yeah,
you're gonna make good conversation. I feel like good conversation these days has just gone completely out the door.
Yeah.
Like you can't just sit there like now
Yeah.
and talk about issues or
life.
Yeah, how your day's been, or what's going on in your life and stuff like that. Like,
there's good people out there, and you just need to talk.
Yeah, there are really good people out there. Like, I'm not going to say we're the best guys in the whole world, like, because we're doing this.
No.
But yeah, there are genuine people out there that that are going through the exact same thing, and that will be there to help you.
Yeah.
No matter what. I remember, like, one of the times, like, I took myself in the hospital because I was having that bad panic attack, and all my thoughts just went out the window. But when I got back home later that night, I'm like, I got to message someone. I felt like I had to message someone that I know was going through the same thing, and ask them, hey, did you have this symptom? Did you have that symptom? And they did. They had the exact same symptoms, and it brought my anxiety at the time from there back down to there.
Yeah.
So there are other people out there going through the same stuff, whether it's like anxiety, depression, panic attacks,
addiction.
Addiction.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say I was ever an addict, but even addiction. And there are other people out there that are going through the exact same thing, and don't be scared to speak up about it. Like, it's hard, I know, but it's the best thing you can do at times. Like, and it'll bring how you feel at the time. Like, I was in hospital at the time. I felt that bad that my body was just shutting down. Like, my heart rate was like 150 resting.
Wow.
It was nuts. Yeah, but there's other people out there going through it. I mean, thousands out there, hundreds of thousands, and it's a totally normal thing to have a time where us guys want to have a cry, for example. Like, it's just let it out, man. Like, it's not something to hide from. Don't hide from the world.
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah. If you want to finish on that one, don't hide from the world.
I like that's perfect. It's a perfect one to finish off. But thank you obviously so much.
I appreciate it. Yeah.
It's super honest, and you said you were anxious before coming.
Oh man,
I'm always anxious when it comes to
But I feel like the more you talk about it, the like it brings you back, like it grounds you. It brings you back down. I was in the car and I was like, oh, what's happening? I even got like little butterflies and hands shaking like a kid at a bloody school like race. Like, But the more you talk about it, and the more you open up to people. Doesn't matter who it is. You can be opening up to mates, parents, your own family. Me, I made the tough decision after a long time of putting it off to go and speak to a psychologist, and it helps. It's huge. It's tough, but some things won't like get better if you don't look for that avenue of help. And like, I was unfortunate enough that like my mate's dad probably like didn't look for that avenue of help. My mum didn't look for that avenue of help at the time, and you can see what happens because of it. And if people can look for that avenue of help, it doesn't matter what it is. other people aren't going to be affected in their lives as much.
Yeah.
I know this is a sensitive topic, like what we're talking about, and like people like a lot of the time do get scared talking about it, but it's what people think are a sensitive topic needs to be brought back into normality.
Yeah.
And don't have that stigma of like it's something that should be hidden, like, because once again we've said it so many times.
Yeah.
Don't hide it.
Do not hide.
Don't hide it.
Yeah. Beautiful thing to share. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, well,
touch it.
Thank you very much for listening or watching. Obviously, thank you for coming on. It's been great, and hope you found something from this. And please reach out if you want to jump on. Dog was barking at the exact perfect time. Yeah, reach out if you want to jump on. Get
on the Lifeline, Blue, all those things. Like, I know people,
services.
all those services and stuff like are always promoted and stuff. I've never come to the point where I had to reach out, but I know more than anything, those things are there as a resource for people to go to.
Yeah.
And don't be worried about like people going to judge you or anything, because they're there for a reason.
Yeah.
They're like a doctor, they're like a physio, they're there to help you benefit.
Yeah.
So
Don't
be afraid to go look for help in that avenue either as well.
Yeah. That's it. Have a good one, guys. Thank you.